Hey guys, Clumsy here. Goodness, can you imagine the Arrow 3 reaching these altitudes, 11,400 right now, and continuing to climb? Welcome back to On Air. We are still in Hawaii, guys. I set a personal challenge for myself to try and climb as high as I can with this plane because I really wanted to explore this volcano, Mauna Kea. I think this is the highest point in Hawaii from what I remember in our trivia. Oh, please don't go through clouds. We cannot afford any icing right now. Well, too late for that. But yes, so I want to go to the top of that volcano. There should be an observatory there somewhere. But I'm still trying to climb up. It has been a very slow climb. You can see my vertical speed here, 200 feet per minute, 100 feet per minute. I'm just trying to pitch for 90 knots, trying to really lean out the mixture as much as I can. Still climbing though, and this is with a almost full payload, so we are as heavy as we can get. But yes, things are progressing at a snail's pace, but progressing. I think I've been flying for, I don't know, or more than 30 minutes already. I've been climbing for more than 30 minutes. Yes, progress has been slow, but I have been able to admire
Mauna Kea is a dormant volcano on the island
every
of
single
Hawaii.
piece of it.
Its peak is 4,207.3 meters above sea level.
That's where we're going.
Making it the highest point in the state of Hawaii.
Perfect
Most
timing.
of the volcano is underwater, and when measured from its underwater base, Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain in the world, measuring 10,211 meters in height. Mauna Kea is about 1 million years old, and has thus passed the most active shield stage of life hundreds of thousands of years ago.
That's good. Good to know. Thank you. We'll need more cheering than that though to continue climbing here because I'm really struggling. But yes, I'll bring you guys back if we manage to get on top of that or however high I can go. Wish me luck. I'll definitely need it. My goodness, that is already looking like a magnificent view even from here, huh? It'd be better if we could really reach the top though. We'll see. Hang tight. Oh man, so close yet so far. I think that's the observatory right there. Yeah, that should be the one. That's as close as we'll get, I think, though, with this plane. Instead of climbing, I actually started descending. Not by choice, but the plane is struggling, really struggling. So I think we'll give it a break here. We'll come back here next time with a more powerful plane. Maybe when the Turbo Arrow comes out, I'll definitely be buying that as well. But for now, let's just enjoy. Maybe we can still play the tour here. So I'll play the Mauna Kea Observatories audio tour from Bush Talk Radio.
The Mauna Kea Observatories are a number of independent astronomical research facilities and large telescope observatories that are located at the summit of Mauna Kea on the Big Island of Hawaii, United States. The facilities are located in a 525-acre special land use zone known as the Astronomy Precinct, which is located within the 11,228-acre Mauna Kea Science Reserve. The Astronomy Precinct was established in 1967 and is located on land protected by the Historical Preservation Act for its significance to Hawaiian culture. The presence and continued construction of telescopes is highly controversial due to Mauna Kea's centrality in native Hawaiian religion and culture, as well as for a variety of environmental reasons. The location is near ideal because of its dark skies from lack of light pollution, good astronomical seeing, low humidity, high elevation of 4,205 meters, position above most of the water vapor in the atmosphere, clean air, good weather and low latitude location.
Makes sense. So that's the guy right there, that single dot. But yes, that makes sense. I saw in a show that that's actually, I think, arguably the best spot in the entire Earth, in the entire world. for star gazing because of what was said in the tour, because of the water vapor or whatnot, less I'm sure I can explain it more technically than her. Like less boundaries or less obstructions, you know, less fog, less anything from what separates us between the stars. It's pretty cool actually. But yeah, maybe in the future we can really climb there, but for now let's get to enjoy what we can. And my goodness, this is a feat on its own, actually reaching 10,000 feet on this plane on a heavy, almost full payload. I'm very proud of that already. Yes, I'll take that. So let's continue the tour here. There should be something up ahead. The valley. Okay, I think there should be a valley down here below. So let's descend and let's see what we can see right there. Let me lower the RPM as well. 2200 should give us a nice descent along with the lower power setting. Good. Our next destination is up ahead. Waipio Valley, I believe. There's also an audio tour here, so that should be playing any second now. But I think that's the valley right there, snaking through in between those mountains, those hills.
Waipio Valley is a valley located in the Hamakua district of the Big Island of Hawaii. Waipio means curved water in the Hawaiian language. The valley was the capital and permanent residence of many early Hawaiian alii chiefs or kings up until the time of King Umi. This was a place celebrated for its nioi tree known as the Nioi Wela o Pa Akalana, or the burning nioi of Pa Akalana. It was the location of the ancient grass palace of the ancient kings of Hawaii. Kahului II, king of Maui, raided Waipio in the 18th century and burned the 4 sacred trees to the ground. The first chief who had a court in this valley was called Kaimoali. The valley floor at sea level is almost 610 meters below the surrounding terrain. A steep road leads down into the valley from a lookout point located on the top of the southern wall of the valley. The shoreline of the valley is a black sand beach, popular with surfers. Several large waterfalls fall into the valley to feed the river, which flows from the foot of the largest falls at the back of the valley out to the ocean. Helicopter tours into the valley are available from several operators, and the views of the cliffs and waterfalls are spectacular.
There it is. That sure looks spectacular, but I don't think I want to risk it. Let's climb up here. That might be more for helicopters than small planes like ours. We might regret that decision if we decide to go into the valley itself, especially with my flying skills or lack thereof. But that doesn't mean we cannot enjoy the view. So let's just do that. Let's maybe climb up a bit here. Just pitch up a bit. Pitch up for 90 knots for the climb. Stay rich of peak here. 1 second. That's the peak. Meaning the mixture. There it is. Rich of peak. And let's pitch for 90 knots. I am getting hammered by the winds from these hills though. The updrafts are... oh yeah. Yeah, there it is. Probably not a good idea to stay inside here. Let's get out of this place as soon as we can. Oh, look. We might have actually trapped ourselves already. Oh my goodness. That does not look good. Well, it looks good, but it doesn't look good for us. So let me see if I can get out of here, guys. I see an exit. Okay, we might not need to climb all the way up these slopes, because I see that there is actually an exit to the valley. It's like an entrance and an exit. So we can actually stay inside here. Just trace through the valley itself. And eventually, we should reach the end of the island right there. where we don't need to climb as high. Okay, that looks good. Maybe 4,000 feet won't be such a bad altitude. Keep your seatbelts fastened, guys. I know it's a bit of a rough ride. There we go. Should be safe now. Phew! That was cool. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Wow. That might be our thumbnail right there. Cool stuff. Right. So on to the North Island. I think it's the island of island where the airport of Kahului is. I've heard very good things about it. So let's keep going that direction northbound. I do have the VOR tuned, and now I don't. Just as I say that, it went out of range. But it should be around that point, 300 on the heading. Let's get out of this place. My goodness, I'm getting hammered by the winds, with updrafts. Oh, once we get on the water, it should be much calmer though. I think that's how it works. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we can climb again. Alright. Phew. Now it's much more peaceful here, just looking at the cliffs from afar. The valley. Oh, that looks great. Look at that. Yes. Definitely one for the books. Loving this Hawaii tour. Thanks again to my VA managers for organizing all this. Feel free to join the VA, guys. We have received a couple of new members already. We have gotten new applications. So we have a couple of new members in the VA. You are more than welcome to join as well. Look for Clumsy Airlines in the OnAir VA virtual airline list. The airline code is CLUMS, like clumsy without the Y. Okay, so see you here in Hawaii. But we also have networks in the US and in Europe, so in the main land. So let's see how far we get. There's the next island, where our airport should be, Kahului. We also tuned into the VOR 115.1. So let's go and set the proper course here. So if you want to go direct to the airport, it will be in a 290 track, more or less. So that way, but might have to go through a mountain there. Or is that a volcano? Hopefully not. But yeah, I think it'll be around 10,000 feet, that elevation, based on Little Nav map. So let me show you how that looks over on this side. So that's where we are. That's where the airport is. And if we go straight from here, for example, like so, that will be around, okay, I think in this case that's okay. So if we trace that around, we see the elevation here would be around 6,000 feet. That's just enough for our current altitude. Great. So I think with that, we can actually follow the course. Go direct to the airport. And I've heard that the north area of this island is looking pretty good, so we should be in for some sights. Also, while I was cruising and while I was crossing those islands, I was trying to compare the performance of the plane with the charts that were provided by Just Flight. And it's pretty promising, actually. I like it. It's pretty accurate. Let's see if I can read this correctly. So if we are at 6,000 feet, okay, and I want the best power, because I don't think we are much concerned for fuel economy at this point. We want to fly as fast as we can because this plane is a bit slow in general. Low and slow is the name of the game for this plane. So 6,000 feet, best power. So if you look at this chart, you can see the amount of detail in here. So if I zoom in, best power at 6,000 feet If you want 75% power, this one, so the manifold pressure should be around what, 24.3, and we will be at mixture peak EGT plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit and 2500 RPM. So let's follow those first. Oh my goodness, that looks scary. Looks like we won't make it this. It might be too close to cut this mountain through here. Might have to go around a bit, but that's fine. We still have a little bit of way to go. So what did it say? 6,000 feet. The manifold pressure would be around 24 point something. And if you look at this one, manifold pressure, yes, almost 24 point something indeed. That's pretty close. And full throttle here. So this is as high as it will go. Now when it says peak EGT plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so I look at the EGT, I lean the mixture, I look for the peak. That's the peak because any more and it goes down. So that's the peak. And I go 100 degrees rich of that. So I push the mixture 100 degrees. That's 4 slots there, 4 how to say, nibs because each line is 25 degrees. So we are now at 100 degrees rich of peak. So that should be exactly what the plane is saying, what the chart is saying. So we're following that now. And now we go into the best power range, 2500. One sec, is that the one? Best power cruise, this one. Yeah. So pressure altitude would be around 6,000 feet plus or minus. That should be 6,000 right here. And the problem is, I don't know the outside air temperature because I think this is bugged right now. I think it's off by a few Celsius. I don't think it's really 0 in here. I think it's around 10. So if you look at maybe 10 degrees, 6,000 feet, 10 degrees would be around this point. So it should be around 137 through airspeed. Something like that, given the settings that we've put up. And if you look here, I think what we'll be doing is the pressure altitude 6,000. We would match that against the temperature here, if I can move that at least. Oh, I think there's a problem. This happened to me before. Not sure if you guys noticed, but the dials are all frozen. It's not paused. ATC. No, it's still hanging. Huh. Interesting. Let's see if I can resolve this. 1 second, guys. And we're back. I'm not sure what changed, but it just suddenly unfroze. Let me know if you encountered the same issue before. Anyway, let's continue. Let's get back to 6,000 feet here. Let me climb up here. We do still have most of the settings in there, so it should be good. Climb to 6,000 and then level off. Although it is getting a bit bumpy, so it's harder and harder to see. That's the second time it happened to me, that issue with the dials freezing. Not sure what's causing that, if that's a Flight Sim 2020 bug or something specific to this plane. Okay, so if you fly level here, if I can try and fly level, you should gather some speed again. You should be able to pick up some speed. And if I match this, so we said 6,000 feet, right? I'll match that with the outside air temperature. So the 6 here I match against the temperature bars below. If I can fly level, that is, to match that, 6,000 to around 10 degrees would be something like that, I guess. Okay, and then let me level off here again and see. Ah, that looks beautiful. The coast, let's head for the coast. Oh, it's calmer here. It's perfect. Yes, this way. Good. Alright, so let's gather some speed again. Let's let that settle down. We are picking up speed. Manifold pressure at 24 RPM, 2500. We are 100 degrees. So that's the peak. 100 degrees reach of peak. There you go. And so if we look at this bar here, that's the true airspeed. We should be somewhere around this point, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. But the weather is not permitting me to fly level. Okay, I'll have to concentrate on doing that instead. But yeah, that's something that a while ago, while I paused the recording, it actually was working fine and I was able to match it. But now, of course, while I'm recording, things are not falling into place. The dials are freezing, the mountains are hammering us with their updrafts, and everything you can think of. Clumsy flying at its finest. That's fine. We'll make do. We'll make it work somehow. Okay. So right now I think I'm at around 120. But yeah, I think the main blockage here is that I'm not sure if you can trust this, but if you just trust that, it says 0 degrees there. So if I put the 6,000 pressure altitude to 0 degrees, we should be at around 130 knots, I think. True airspeed, which is pretty close to the chart. Because there have been some discussions that were saying that the chart was not, that the plane was not handling accurately. But yeah, some more technical guys than I am, for sure, have been testing it out and it looks pretty good. Alright, let's see. Now things are much calmer. We can make this work. Alright, 6,000 feet, leveling off. We should be able to pick up the speed that we lost a while ago. So if we look there you go. Around 130 knots true airspeed, where that white line is saying. Cool. And if you look back at the chart again, so if we look at 6,000 feet at 0 degrees, that should be at around 135 knots. A few knots away. Probably something to do with the temperature that not matching perfectly. I'll have to look into that more, but yeah, if you're a fan of those, looking at the charts like that, comparing the performance, you will love this plane. It has all those details that you can imagine and hope for. Oh my goodness, that is looking good. Okay, let's start descending here. We are pretty clear of any possible mountain incidents. Unfortunately, I don't think there is such a... we don't get a lot of audio tours in this island specifically. Can't even see one audio tour. But nonetheless, we'll enjoy the view. And I'll bring you guys back when we are lower here and we can enjoy the view of the coast more. Give me a second. It's pretty windy, but I sure am liking the sights. Beautiful coastal view. Very nice. We are actually nearing the airport as well, 5 miles away based on the VOR. So that's one saying, 5 miles. There we go. 5 mile final. Not really. 5 mile base more like. But yeah, actually, should be right in front of us, the airport. Should be coming up soon. Guys see anything? Runway 20 might be a good runway for us, so I'll align the heading that way so I can have a more visual representation of where we're landing. But that's actually something we can set up here probably. If I set this to be on a 20 approach, then that will make it so we approach the airport going to the airport at a 200 heading. And so I can align myself that way. That might be a good way to navigate. Let's see. Because the runway is 205 degrees. So if I set this at 205, something like that, that's perfect. And I can follow that deviation, that HSI. And I can see where that actual runway is. Oh, there it is. I think I see it. I think I see the pappy lights. Good. Alright, so let's maybe bank to the right a bit more here. It should be good. In the next episode, we can enjoy more of Kahului. Right. Landing gears going down. That should get us some additional drag. Wow, those mountains look great, and there's that valley in the middle. That might be a very scenic sight in real life. You can see the VOR, the needles going through. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Alright. 100 knots. Flaps going 1 notch. Let's turn on the landing lights and the fuel pump. We can go full flaps here. We are in the safe speeds. We are pretty high, so I'll have to start descending. And we are crabbing to the left because the winds are coming from there. Oh crap, yes. Crosswind landing for the win. Not sure I am pretty well equipped for this kind of landing right now, but it's what we've been given, so we'll have to make do. There we go. No glide slope here. I think the ILS is on the other side, runway 0220. We'll have to be happy with PAPI lights. That's fine. We'll make it work. There you go. That is pretty crabbed, if I do say so myself. Yikes. Okay, keep at it. I think we are on a proper course here. The track is properly headed straight on the runway so far. Getting pretty high. Catch up to that. There you go. The winds lessening in effect as we get closer to the runway here. Still pretty windy though, don't worry, we have plenty of runway to work with. Right. Little right rudder, little aileron deflection to the left. Oh crap. Oh no! That was not the best landing ever. Might have had to go around there instead. Yes, still plenty of practicing need to do. Oh, and yes, I need to still deflect that way. Because this one is really not working properly for me. We could have exited that way. It's okay. I'll make it on the next one. There should be another taxiway here on the right coming up soon. That's the one. Good. Turn off the pitot heat. Fuel pump. Some airliners in here, huh? This is a pretty big airport considering. Man, that looks great. Those mountains in the vicinity. We'll have to tour that at some point. Because in the next episode, we're headed that way, northwest. So that should be perfect, actually. Maybe you can stop over here. This should be fine. We'll figure out where we need to go later. Good. Alright, parking brake is set. Open the windows. Get some ventilation in here. Turn off everything except the beacons, and turn off the avionics as well. Good, good, good. Alright. And turn off the transponder. Alright. Turn off the magnetos. Turn off the beacons, and now we can turn off the batteries. Awesome stuff. 1 hour 25 minutes. That's how long I've been flying, trying to climb through that 14,500 foot mountain. And here we are. Good. 45 XP. Nice. No penalties. I like it. Job finished. And now welcome to Kahului. Alright. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me. Catch you in the next episode. We'll see, maybe I'll get my landings better by then. I'll get some more practice for sure. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy flying. Catch you in the next one. Bye.